And okay, so I'd like to welcome everyone to joining us today. We're looking forward to talking to Enrique about sustainable green living. So this is going to be really exciting today, a topic that I'm sure is forefront on the mind of probably most people on this call, but everybody now. You hear a lot of talk about it, so this is going to be really a great way to keep it at top of mind. So for those that don't know, we are from Connect Ottawa. I have my partners on the call here, Bernie Franz-Grote, of course, and Stéphane Metral, and myself, and I'm going to let them do a quick introduction of themselves in a second. But Connect Ottawa, we have been around since the pandemic started a few months before when Bernie and I sealed the deal. We've had a few twists in the road and taken different paths, and here we are. We still are inviting people in, which is great from across the world. We want to connect, meet new people, learn new things. We've introduced new tools that if anybody's interested in learning about online courses, becoming a teacher, having their own academy, you should reach out to us. More marketing and ideas within our community, reach out to us. And you're going to see us be launching a new app for our members to connect, just a whole pile of things happening. So on that note, Stéphane, can you give me 30 seconds? What's one thing that's new that's on top of mind about Connect Ottawa right now?
Oh, about Connect Ottawa, yeah. So we have 3 top new VIP membership with a lot of feature. I invite everybody to visit connectottawa.net to discover what are the features of those new membership, depending on what you're trying to accomplish in your career or with your businesses. And we have recently launched ottawaconnectsyou.ca, which is a new community app with new feature that I also invite you to discover. I will put into the chat some links you can visit and have a try.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, Stéphane. And Bernie, would you like to add a little note about Connect Ottawa?
Yes, Connect Ottawa. Every Tuesday we have these free sessions, and every Thursday we have a mastermind. We will be working on different elements, and yeah, it's been on the go. We got speakers booked up into January 2023, and it's a wide variety. And back over to you, Marianne.
Perfect. Okay, thanks a lot. And on Thursday, just so everybody know, is our strategy, as Bernie was mentioning, networking event. And this week we're going to be talking about CRMs, the 3 types of CRMs, how you can use them, what they are, and how they can help you scale and grow your business. On that note, we're going to take some quick time here to go around, give everybody about 15, I'm shortening it up, 15 to 20 seconds, and introduce yourself, share your information into the chat. Don't forget, networking is making an effort to reach out to a couple people after the call and learn who they are, connect on LinkedIn, ask questions. And who am I going to start with today? Oh, Tanya, I'm going to start with you. You want that little smile? Okay, show us how this works.
Hey everyone, my name is Tanya Hewitt from Beyond Safety Compliance, coming to you from the unceded territories of the Algonquin and Anishinaabe peoples. My purpose in life is to try to get workplaces healthier, to try to inject humanity back into workplaces, try to get away from just focusing on financials and get relationships and get a whole lot of more energy into people loving their work. Thanks very much.
And she has a fantastic new podcast, guys.
Yes, she does. You can post that in there too. And how about Angela?
Hi, I'm Angela. I am an energetic transformational coach. So I work with people to deal with whatever's going on in their lives and anyone who wants to actually have a conscious change. So I work at the moment, I'm doing a program around weight management and feeling comfier in your own skin. So if you know anyone who's currently feeling not so comfy, that's who I would love to talk to. And I'm based in Hamilton in Scotland.
Hamilton, Scotland. Thank you very much, Angela. Hey, Ruddy, nice to see you. What about you?
Hi, my name is Ruddy, like Buddy with an R. I work as a Senior Business Development Manager at Notion Hive. In addition to that, I publish an online magazine called Main Street Magazine. And I'm also a martial arts instructor and work with adults, kids, and teens.
Perfect. Nice to have you here. Thanks. Roy Campbell. You're on mute.
Mute yourself, Roy.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
How about we do it that way?
There.
Better.
My name is Roy Campbell. I am from the Kitchener-Waterloo area, and I do stress reduction for people using computers, basically. I write software and do other consulting, and I also play a game called Crokinole. And if you look for me on YouTube, you just might find out that I do fairly well at it. So I'll shut up now.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Roy, for joining us. Robert.
Hello, I'm Alan Roberts from
Let's see if I can.
Oh, sorry. You know what? I realize we've got two Roberts. So I'll start with Alan Roberts.
Okay, start again. I'm Alan Roberts from the UK. I'm a mindset coach. I'm trying to work with older people that are kind of giving up on life and giving them a new lease of life, hopefully working with younger people to get the young people up and running.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us again, Alan. Now, what about Robert Dix?
Okay, this is the first time I've been able to get Zoom working with a camera and a microphone. We created a company called Canadian Scotobiology Group. We developed the guidelines for outdoor lighting for Canada, and they've been exported around the world. They recommend lighting that doesn't have any impact on the environment at night, and we then developed lighting that would complement that, and we now market those throughout the States, into Europe, and across Canada. And I'm also, surprisingly, an astronomy editor for Harrowsmith magazine. That's something to address my passion and my hobby.
Love it. Very cool. Thanks for joining us, Robert. That's awesome. Now, who do we have here? Eduardo, are you there?
Hi there, Margaret Ann. Nice to see you, and nice to see you too, Bernie. Welcome, or hello to everybody. My name is Eduardo Belletti. I'm at the end of my 4th term teaching at a graduate program here in Ottawa to teach technology entrepreneurship to young and aspiring professionals. And happy to talk to anybody about their business growth. And I'll be moving into industry soon out of the university. So probably going to be going into study consulting, as well as working for an agency to help grow companies around the world.
Oh, cool. Congratulations on your new position. Nice. Okay, Serge?
Hi. First time on your board. I'm Serge Gaillet from Valleyfield, but originally from Saint-Isidore-de-Prescott. So that's where my French is. And bringing back the scan on the market, which is a lamp to replace all these ATP that people have been using and throwing away millions of pieces of plastic there in the garbage. So sustainable way to know if it's clean or not. So backtoscan.com. Go have a view. Thank
Very
you.
cool. Don't forget to put your links in the chat, eh? And Benoit, are you there? And I don't see any muting, so
He might be on the road.
Okay, so we'll go. Actually, Bernie, why don't we go with you next?
Okay. So my name is Bernie Franzwer, Creative Insight Consultants. I do B2B connections, actually people connections. A couple of quick examples. You'll see it in the patch. There's an event coming up, a Global Evolution of Business Summit next week, free to attend. And then I've got a property wizard with commercial real estate investment, if you need to know how, and PureFog Canada, which is a disinfectant that will kill off viruses, bacteria, mold, spore, and fungus, but not you, your pets, or your kids. And Stefan, over to you, sir.
So my name is Stefan John Metrol. I am the Chief Technology Officer with Connect Ottawa here, partner in business with and in crime with Bernie and Margaret here. I'm a disruptor, and I love to make software platforms and piece of technology. The latest net we created, and we are partnering with course designers, instructors. If you have any courses, please visit our new links that I put in the chat. We're hiring course designers to partner with us to develop their own monetization of their content, talents, experience, and courses, if you have any.
Cool. Okay, and did I get everybody introduced? think so. So for those that don't know, I am Margaret Ann Davis from downtown Fitzroy Harbor, and I'm a partner in Connect Ottawa and also a partner in Unified Remote Work. And today I'm going to talk about, well, I've spoken a little bit about Connect Ottawa. I'm going to talk about bringing people together in the remote workspace. We call it the office. So we offer the tools and technologies and create products to help you scale and grow your business. I'm just throwing that into the chat. And on that note, we're going to get this party started. See, it's 1:14, Enrique, I told you. So go ahead. Oh, 1:15, Bertie, you're on.
Well, thank you, Margaret Ann. Folks, allow me to introduce Enrique Miranda. He's a 30-year pragmatic, research-driven, action-oriented engineer. So he cares about the universes we live in. He's worked in highly commercial and industrial sectors, in the academic area, public policy, and civil society. He's led multicultural, cross-functional teams, and he handles change management. One of his strongest beliefs is one health we must put first is nature. He's taking urgent action to address and halt the degradation of biodiversity, wildlife, ecosystems from crashing, unsafe food systems, and he's talking about the keys to climate mitigation, indeed, therefore, the survival of all of us. We don't have much time left to act, but you know what? Enrique's going to talk to us about a couple items right now, and instead of stealing his thunder, I'm going to hand it over to him. Enrique, go ahead, sir. And you're on mute.
Bernie, for the invitation. Thank you very much, Connect to Ottawa, for the invitation you made to me. To Better to Earth, to be more precise. Yes, I heard someone talking about being addicted to computers. Eventually, I will need a consultation because of eco-anxiety. I don't want to transmit that to you, but I would like to put some things in the place I think they should be placed. What you see here in the screen is our Earth pulsing. The fact is that Earth is pulsing more and more at a slower pace, and the cause for that is one virus it has in it, and the virus is called human beings. Because regardless of what we have been warned about in the past few decades, we kept doing business as usual. We kept living in the ways we were doing before those warnings. And the fact is that inertia of Earth drives us into a position sooner or later, then we have no return point. And this is in particular, we can witness this in water. And water is eventually the fundamental element we have on Earth to support our life. Ideally or not ideally, we hear nowadays to talk about circular economy and how we should turn things reusable, recyclable, repurposeful, etc. But we never think about water in that way. I mean, we keep looking to water in a very linear pace, in a very linear economy. So taking it from the soil, using it as we want, and dumping it somewhere, because someone will someday find a way to solve the problems we are causing. And this is what we are causing. Nowadays, this is one of the problems we are facing everywhere. Just to give you a glimpse, in Portugal, 6 of our biggest dams that were producing energy were just locked down because otherwise they would not be able to provide drinking water to people. And in particular, one of them that is supplying Lisbon, that is the capital of Portugal, that is the the country where I live in, they had to stop producing energy, electric energy. So one part of the renewable sector is now shut down in Portugal because we don't have enough water. There are increasing evidences that our health and the health of our planet is declining at a rate that was never seen in the human history, putting the global economy at risk. Examples of these are climate change, which translates into alternating periods of drought and floods, and contamination of the oceans with chemicals resulting from human activities. FAO predictions for population growth to 2050 indicates that we will create an enormous political pressure on farmers at the same time to reduce the consumption of water and fertilizers, but also increase the volumes of food produced. So the economy is pushing farmers to this extreme: reduce water, increase production. Faced with these challenges, and because we care about the future of the earth and the conservation of its resources, we know how important it is to reconcile this with economic sustainability of agriculture businesses. By the way, in my perspective, sustainability is one thing, sustainable development is a completely different thing. Example, a company can be sustainable nowadays, practicing good economic standards, but if it doesn't act, or if the management doesn't act in the right way, defining strategies for the future, the development of the company will not be compatible with the future. So we have a concern about sustainable development of this company, enterprise, government, country, whatever you mention it. We know that from all the water we have in our planet, less than 1% is fresh water. The most part of it is held on ice caps and glaciers, so only a fraction of it is available for us human beings. That is 0.007%. This is data that was provided by the Nature magazine. Agricultural activities only are responsible for the consumption of around 70% nowadays of the total available water. So it is imperative that for us to do something with impact, and that impact will have to start on agriculture, obviously, if it is the one that most consumes water. And this is what we propose. Our contribution to the mitigation of these effects and to companies in addressing these constraints, so water scarcity and economical growth, is given through a technology that we call Porous Alpha. With this technology, it is possible to optimize operating costs by reducing the use of water and fertilizers in agriculture, but at the same time, increase the yield of crops and have a sustainable development on the preservation of biodiversity. I just stop here for a while. So we are the only technology in the world able to produce this material here, with solar panels, windshields of the cars, so the glass from solar panels, windshields of the cars, and glass from the windows, because all of these have heavy metals in it, and they cannot be recycled on any other way. We have a solution for that, and the technology was developed having that in mind, and we can come to that later on. The effect is very simple. The effect of porous alpha can be compared to that of a sponge. mixed with the soil, and it can be mixed with the soil in an existing orchard or in a new orchard, in vegetables, in green roofs, rooftops, urban farms, where you mention it. I mean, the applications are enormous. Mixed with the soil, it retains the water and diluted nutrients in it, allowing plants to use these resources in an organic way. Without efficient water management, agriculture is not an economically and environmentally sustainable activity. I suppose it was clear. So on the top, we have porous alpha, the soil without porous alpha. So when we irrigate when there is a rain coming down, what happens is that it infiltrates or evaporates, and only a small quantity will be retained close to the rooting zone, meaning that if it is irrigation, you have to keep irrigating all the time. When you use porous alpha, and porous alpha is represented here by these white and gray dots, what happens is that pot will keep infiltrating because we want the cycle of the water to move on, but around 15% of the volume of this porous alpha will be water will be stored in this amount, meaning that the rooting zone will be with water even if you use less. Here is an example from Morocco. Morocco is the fourth largest tomato producer in the world, where water is collected more and more at greater depths, representing more than 15% of the production costs. We have multiple applications of this technology all over the world. And these applications extend from agriculture to water biofiltration and air biofiltration as well. Here you see that we achieved slightly 28% higher yield. We could decrease on 48% the water consumption. So we could obtain two effects with the use of porous alpha: reducing water and the costs associated with the diluted nutrients, and we increased the yield of the farmer. These are the partners, the companies that work around porous alpha nowadays. So we have Better Worth operating in Europe, and in Europe I include UK and Scotland. Once we have so many Scottish friends here, so England, UK, and Scotland, TRPC in China, Totori Resource Recycling in Japan, and in a subsidiary company in Morocco, TRME in United Arab Emirates, and PASA, Porous Alpha South Africa, in South Africa. To implement our strategy, we have these 5 companies that I mentioned here, and all the business and all the operations outside of these territories. So South America, Central America, and the most part of Africa is handled by the Japanese company itself. The synergies in water management are boosting other projects in other areas as we speak, and 2 more patents are on the way, and more will come in the future. These are some of the partners we work with. Better Worth is participating in multiple projects worldwide. Our colleagues from other regions are also performing pilots related to specific needs. I would like to leave you with some takeaways. Water scarcity is already the direct cause of conflict and migratory movements. In 2050, it is estimated that there will be over 140 million climate migrants. In Portugal, to give my own example, it is estimated that the southern part of the country will lose 50% of available water in the next decade. In the last 2 decades, the water availability was already reduced by 20%. In December 2021, 60% of surface water reservoirs were below their average value, including the ones that feed the largest populated areas, such as the capital Lisbon and Algarve, one of the most important touristic regions in the country all year round. Also, water contamination with pesticides and other chemicals should be a major concern to all of us. So thank you, and be aware that the world is in our hands. Thank you for your attention, and I am now available for questions related to the soil, if there are any. If not, I can move towards the next step, if I still have time for that.
Thanks, Enrique. I know that we've got a question from Robert Dick. If you'd like to stop sharing your screen, you'll probably be able to get a view of them. It's just a little bit better for discussion.
No, I didn't want to stop sharing because you have my contacts, but that's no problem.
Oh, that's okay. Okay.
I will stop sharing it.
Okay. So Robert, where are you? I know you had a question. Do you want me to ask it? It says, I don't see him on here.
Yeah, I think he's probably having sound issues, so go ahead and do his
He said,
question.
what particle size is used? Could it be handled by the same equipment that may be used for distributing fertilizers?
Yes, it can. It is such a wonderful product that we can change basically all the physical properties of the product. For instance, this small particle I have here that hopefully you can see it if it is in front of me. Yeah, you can see it. This is a particle of porous alpha. This is between 3 and 10 millimeters. We can have it in a powder version as well. So between 0 and 3. If you want it to float in a lake, you can use one. If you want to use one that sinks, you can use it as well. You can use it in, for instance, in golf courses. Typically, golf courses, the greens are filled in with sand because they want to keep it green. So they will use heavy amounts of water, but then they don't want it to be soaked in water. So they will use sand to drain it. If you use porous alpha, you can not only reduce the amount of water and keep it green, but it also helps some kind of drainage if needed. So it can be, to answer to your question, yes, it can be applied in the soil in the same condition as a fertilizer, but you won't need to do it because when compared with other products, you don't need to keep using or install it every year because of its properties. And if you do not till your crop, so if, for instance, you practice regenerative farming, you don't need to replace porous alpha because it will stay in the soil for over 10 years without problems, while keeping the same performance and the same characteristics it has from the beginning.
Cool. I think
if you use it in greenhouses, or if you use it in rooftops, for instance, you want to keep the temperature of your building or your house controlled. The better way to do it is, we did it in the ancient times. It was covering it with soil. Plants. You can replace soil with porous alpha and grow your grass or your tomatoes or your strawberries or your lettuces over there.
Cool. Thank you, Enrique. We've got a question from Eduardo.
Margaret Anna, Robert actually followed up with a second question before. He was asking about foam glass and how abrasive.
Yeah, I was going to go back to that, or do you want me to do that now?
I'm actually interested in hearing the answer to that before I ask.
Okay, so there was a second part. Foam glass can be very abrasive. Is this a problem?
No, it is, first of all, no, it's not a problem. It is from the family, Porosoph is from the family of foam glass. However, the regular foam glass, and that's what unique in our product, is the IP protected ingredient on the recipe that encapsulates the heavy metals that you have on certain glasses. That's why I mentioned that solar panels, windshields, and glass from the windows can, as well as bottles and glasses and mugs and so on, all of them can be recycled with our system. But the typical foam glass will not prevent leachate. So leaching of heavy metals will occur in regular foam glass. With Porosoph, you don't have that issue. We have a certificate from the Ministry of the Environment of Japan certifying that Porosoph can be used in soil and as a replacement for the soil. So abrasion is not an issue in the soil. And it is not also an issue for water treatment. For instance, we can apply this product in wastewater treatment plants and capture one of the most important elements for fertilizers and for the soil, that is phosphorus. In excess, our bodies are chemical machines. So we transform food into mechanical and electrical energy. When we, at the end of our biological cycle, when we have to defecate or urinate, we are releasing organic matter, and we are releasing in particular one element that is phosphorus, that is present in all wastewater treatment plants, and it should be seen as a potential cause of eutrophication. Eutrophication is when a water surface becomes green. It means that there are too many nutrients in the water. And this is bad, because when the surface gets green, it means that underneath everything is dead, because the sun, the light from the sun cannot go through.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Henri. Okay. Oh, sorry. Were you going to continue, or I was going to?
No. If there are.
Okay. We'll go to Eduardo now, then, and you can ask your question, Eduardo.
Awesome, Henrique. I'm very fascinated about the product, and it, it's piqued my interest for sure. I have more questions about your business, though. In 3 years from now, where do you see your business, and what are some of the challenges that you're encountering with growing it internationally? It sounds like it's a win-win for everybody, but there may be some challenges for you. So, where do you want to be in 3 years, and what are the challenges you're encountering?
Okay, in 3 years, I would like to be to have plants spread all over Europe. So using this glass that is now being sent to landfills, being used in this way. By the way, the product is cradle to cradle. Most part of it is glass, silica glass, that is taken out from the soil, and now we are bringing it back to the soil, just in a different shape. So I would like to see the business running with lots of plants producing this product European-wide, worldwide, of preventing this glass to go to landfills, supporting farming zones, like for instance the Sahara Desert, or countries like Morocco, Algeria, and even in South America, that are becoming depleted of its water resources. And I would like also to see poverty being diminished by the utilization of this product, because it is fundamental. If we don't provide drinking and safe water to people and to the crops, we will suffer from it. It was another topic I would like to talk about, that is circular water. I don't know if we will have time for that.
Well, maybe we do, because, oh, you're going to ask something else, Eduardo?
Yes.
Okay, well, we'll let Eduardo ask another question, and then we're going to take you back and you can cover the second part. How's that? We're at 139. You're on mute, Eduardo.
My space bar wasn't working. Henrique, in terms of, you said you have a bunch of partners. There's a bunch of logos from around.
I was going to talk about the. So you asked me, where do I see the company in 3 years, and the obstacles. The obstacles I'm facing, for instance, we are facing with the farming, is the traditional approach they make. So we took the option to drive some pilots worldwide, so we can show people. We have pilots from the northwestern part of China, where the soil was too much compacted and the water was not getting in and reaching the rooting zones, to Morocco and Senegal, where the soil is too sandy and the water that they put in the soil immediately infiltrates. And we can, by adding this to the soil, we can keep the water over there. So the main difficulties are creating plants worldwide that could lower the costs of transport. First of all, this is an issue. Transporting it from Japan, that is where it is produced right now, makes no sense from a carbon footprint. We have enough glass in Europe, in US, everywhere, so it doesn't make sense to bring waste glass from Japan to these regions once we have it. We also aim to create jobs locally. If we go to Africa and if we install a plant in Africa, we can create businesses on people collecting glass, so they can, because they don't have the infrastructures we have in Europe and in US to collect the glass and all the waste. So that's why I also would like to talk about waste management. So by bringing these kind of projects to Africa, we create jobs by incentivizing people to create these nets of collection of glass, and then we could provide the material at a much lower price to the farmers so they could increase their yield. Because one of the things we have to keep in mind is that the way in the Western countries, the way we do farming is not sustainable. By sowing the soil, what we are doing is killing it, because we think that we are reversing the soil and bringing good soil inside. No, it's a wrong perspective. In my perspective, obviously, it's a wrong perspective, because beneath the surface there is a plethora of microbes and microorganisms that needs to live there to make the crops grow in an easier way. And we are talking about biodiversity. Every time you put a tractor in a farm and sow it, what you are doing is you are exposing this biodiversity, these microorganisms, to the sunshine, and they will kill it. So no tillage is the future. We have to bear that in mind, and we can increase crop efficiency without tillage. And if we use this product, what we also do is to create a housing for these microbes to grow. But our focus is not only about soil and not about, it's about water. And I only talked about water saving. What I would like to talk also is about water treatment, because nowadays, the wastewater treatment plants we have that were designed 30 or 40 years ago cannot cope with the products and the chemicals and the pharmaceuticals and the microplastics we are dumping in our sewage every day. Every day we wash our heads. In the shampoos, we have microplastic beds that are going to be sent to the sewage. We take vitamins, we take any kind of drugs or medical prescription drugs. So all of that will end up in the sewage. and the wastewater treatment plants simply cannot cope with them because they were not designed for those chemicals. You wash a window with a spray. It's a chemical. It aims to remove the dust, to take it away, and to take all the fingerprints. Later on, you will wash the paper, or not the paper, but the tissue, the tissue you use to wash the window. So those chemicals will go into the sewage. Well, guess what? Because the wastewater treatment plants cannot cope with those, they will end up in rivers. One example, estrogen. Estrogen is one of the most important elements of the contraceptive pills from women. I might say that none of the wastewater treatment plants we have in our planet, can cope with that nasty molecule. What will happen? That the water that contains that molecule will end up in a river. As far as I know, all the rivers end up in oceans. So the water will end up in the ocean. What is going to happen is that the microplastics works as magnets for these nasty molecules. We are talking about estrogen. We can be talking about ibuprofen. We can be talking about a molecule called oxybenzone. Oxybenzone is present in the sunblock that we use all year around, or on the creams, the facial creams, or in the lipsticks.
So Enrique, literally, I guess what you're trying to say is literally you're bringing awareness to this. So what you're saying is, like, I love this because it's like every little thing we do, it's about actually acknowledging and being aware of everything we do is affecting our water. And, you know, a lot of those things that you're referring to, you know, many times you don't think about it, right? We're just not aware. As long as things work and we don't know how it works, like, you know, many times us Westerners over here are just okay with that. So that's cool. Tanya, did you have a question? Sorry, because we've got about 5 minutes on, Rick, just so you know. And so go ahead, Tanya.
Well, I think maybe you answered it with your acknowledgement of going into Africa. I've heard that this war in Ukraine, a lot of people are talking about wheat and how Egypt is going to be denied, you know, their core staple kind of thing. But in reality, I think it's more the fertilizer that is the issue. And the fertilizer is going to affect all of us. And I've heard that as Canadians, we likely are not that bad because of our farming practices and because we prepare for things a little bit. So we're not going to be hit as hard because of the stores in the silos that they have in Saskatchewan and in Alberta. But Rwanda's not like that. And their soil does not have the richness of a lot of other places. And yet the potatoes that they grow in Rwanda are core products for their people. And if your product can be used in place of fertilizer, then, you know, this is something that is super urgent because these fertilizers are not getting made right now because of the war in Ukraine. I'm just wondering if you could comment on that.
It's not a fertilizer replacement. It can hold. So when you use fertilizers, what it does is it holds in it the fertilizers instead of them being infiltrated in the soil, because this is also part of the circular water I would love to talk about. And I was talking about the oxybenzone and the estrogens, etc., because they will end up in the food chain. So the microplastics are magnets for it, for these molecules, and the fish will eat them. The fish will be contaminated with estrogens. Guess what? Males are becoming sterile, fish males, and we humans as well. If you look into the decline of the sperm count that we have, we can foresee that by 2050, all the males will be sterile. That's the vision. About the fertilizer, porous alpha is not a replacement for fertilizer. Porous alpha works like a glass. So when a farmer puts water in the soil, he might use fertilizer diluted and other nutrients diluted in the water. So if we could preserve water and fertilizer and the phytopharmaceuticals and whatever he dumps, even biofertilizers that he puts in the soil, then we will be reducing the amount that will infiltrate and contaminate the underground aquifers. So it also prevents pollution. One important thing you mentioned about fertilizers, 70% of the reserves of phosphorus are in Morocco. I spoke a few minutes ago that with this material, we can remove phosphorus from the wastewater. So we are chemical machines, so we dump phosphorus either through our urine or fecal matter, and we can recover it from here. So it will absorb phosphorus, and later on we can bring this into a fertilizer company, and with nitric or citric acid, they can remove the phosphorus out of it, and it can be reused. So it is also circular. So there are lots of good things that we can achieve with this material. In particular, one thing that is water, even in countries where we think, oh, water is not an issue. Yes, it is, except that the people don't know. We think, I'm talking about Europe, we think that we have good water quality. It's not true, because we are measuring that water against standards that are no longer valid. That's why, in this case, European Union is about to disclose a new directive that tries to tackle the quality of the wastewater being dumped in the rivers, because now some people are becoming aware of the chemicals of emergency concerns. So all these chemicals I spoke, and many more I spoke about, and now are becoming crucial, and the politicians and the policymakers are becoming aware that, okay, it's not enough that our wastewater treatment plants treat the water in the way they were used to do. They need to perform something else. The point here is that they cannot simply destroy the wastewater treatment plants. They need to have new equipments that can perform what they want. And the microplastic bed will not disappear with UV or with ozone or any other conventional treatment, as the estrogen does not disappear, because you have also a shadow effect. You have the UV lamps, but when the water after a wastewater treatment plant passes underneath, it will bring all these molecules into the water. The UV lamps will only tackle the surface ones. So, and these are evidences. We have evidences of this in the food chain.
I'm going to have to interrupt you because we're getting near the end time. Okay. Okay. Okay.
1 minute. One minute only.
Okay.
We don't know, but we are eating roughly the equivalent to a credit card in plastic every week.
Nice. I feel like I feel the number in my belly now.
Well, it's even in margarine and stuff. Like, there's so many hidden things, right, that we just don't know about. So we don't know about it. We don't do about it. So I'm curious, as I've decided not the 3 takeaways, one thing to wrap this up. You're spreading the word, you're coming out. It's very big in that area. I don't know, is there anybody in Canada that you're talking? What is something that you could use to spread the word? or that you would like help with or introduced to?
Scientist, a university dedicated to farming or to water treatment that would be willing to test our products and spread the word from that moment onwards.
Okay.
Make it seeing it happening, seeing on the wastewater, on the backwash of the systems, to identify all these nasty chemicals I talk about and many more. So ideally, one university, either related with farming or with water or with both, why not? Because it's one health. It's our health is the health of the planet. No, it should be the other way around, because we are here and the earth will be here until at least 4 more million years before the sun becomes an exploding star, a red dwarf. So the earth will be here, we won't. If we don't take care of us, nobody will.
Okay, well, I would love to thank you, Henri, for coming. It was a great conversation, definitely opened up our minds to new things and possibilities out there.
Thank you.
Actually, on this call, I know there's a few people, not just one, that are connected with universities and stuff, so they very well might have some connections or be able to reach out to you. You put your contact information in the chat so people can connect. Perfect. Okay, and on that note, I'll pass it over to Bernie, who will give us a little finish up with what's up next week, Bernie?
Absolutely. So Enrique, thank you very much. That was a that was a great product. So if you know anybody that's got arid lands, that's the area, or they're trying to save their water. And the recovery of solar panels, that's the next monster in the horizon, because there's a lot of solar panels out there. So I'm going to stop there because what's happening next? So we have Thursday, we have a core VIP. Margaret Ann will describe it a bit more. Next Tuesday, free at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 myths that are preventing you from publishing your business book by Catherine Burrow. So Catherine's going to be talking about that. And the other important thing, 2 other elements to finish off with, 5 minutes after the hour, anybody that's attended this session will get a survey says questionnaire. If you've opted not to be continuously pinged with information, we won't. And the other part is save the chat before you exit, right? And in the event that you peel out of here and you don't save it, get a hold of me. The 3 dots in the bottom right-hand corner is how you save the chat. And if you need to find out about anybody in this, you want to know more about Enrique and stuff like that, get a hold of me. I'll connect you.
Perfect.
Over to you, Margaret.
Okay, thanks, Bernie. Actually, I'm going to just, we got 3 minutes left, just going to talk about our digitized business card. We haven't been talking about that a lot. It's an NFC card that comes as for bronze, silver, and gold members of Connect Ottawa. It will be included after 3 months membership, or you can purchase separately. Why do you want one of these? Well, I'm going to get mine loaded, and then I'll be telling you why. Because I can share all my details with a QR code, or I could just tap a phone when I get back out to in-person events. You can keep your presentation, business pits, all the links on Rick to all those that great information and decks you slide. Imagine everything in one place so you don't have to scramble or try to figure out how to get organized when you're on tour. And yes, as Bernie mentioned, Thursday is our event where we connect. Now, sometimes people are saying, what is it? Well, we may be small, but we are mighty. So we're talking about a different topic every week that really actually helps people stay on top of their business. So from setting SMART goals to marketing your business to customer service, doesn't really matter. All of us that are in business or doing anything with customers or people are all skills that you can develop. So Thursday, we're actually going to talk about CRMs, and in a roundabout way, there's a couple that are just like keeping your contacts in order. Are you able to find things at in a glance, or is there other alternatives that we've never heard about? So Thursday from 12 to 1, that will be coming up. And does anybody? Okay, look at this. We got done 2 minutes early. Anybody else have any comments out there that they'd like to share or ask questions? Sorry, Henri, go ahead.
I just would like to thank Connect Ottawa to give me the opportunity to talk about something It is in my guts. It is my passion. That is water and our planet. So I'm used to say that I want to save the planet. Yeah, all of us, we should save the planet because it's our home. If we don't do it, and we are, by the way, we consider ourselves the most intelligent species. So let's act as an intelligent species and preserve our house. Thank you very much, Connect Ottawa.
Thank you for joining us. And it's people like you that are making a difference in changing lives. And, you know, just as you keep doing that, I've got the goosebumps because, you know, we have to be constantly reminded, you know, it is so easy. All these things you're saying we're putting on our body, putting into our bodies, everything ultimately goes there. So let's be aware. And some really great, I mean, I'd love if you could get this product in Canada right now and it was available for residential use because I'm in. I love the fact that you shared that thing about the golf courses. I want that on my lawn. How cool that it doesn't dissipate. You know, for anybody that's living in sandy areas that you water and it goes 20 feet under, like, you know, that would be ultimately amazing. Can you ship some over to Canada?
Yes, of course.
Oh, look at, see, I didn't realize that the way you were going because you talked about the others. So that's how do you get your product?
The world is round. I just need to throw it out and then it will make the turnaround.
Okay, Bernie, you should be looking after that with your Pure Fog.
Absolutely.
I will send to Bernie some samples and he will distribute it.
Okay.
Actually, one of the other people on this call, Benoit, deals with a company in the deal with mine tailings. So this product's also good for tailings from the mine.
Yeah, I didn't have the time to talk about.
I know, but I know who's here, so it's like I'll make that short connection right now.
So on that note, we should invite you back into our network. We're actually going to a new app, Connects You, and maybe we should actually be getting a sustainability or a green group going within Connect Ottawa, which would be good to further these conversations. So I guess it is 2:01. So thank you everybody for taking the time to come and join us. And Enrique, you did a great job, and I look forward to seeing everybody that can on Thursday. Have a great afternoon.
Bye-bye.